Right, so I just want to start by saying a really big thank you to everyone for taking the time out this morning to join our webinar. My name's Jodie. I am the Northern Account Manager for Youtravel, and today we're going to be joined by Aisha, who is representing 3 different properties. It's the JW Marriott Marquis, I think I say that right, in Dubai, the MAHA Desert Resort and Spa in Dubai, and the MERIDIEN AQAH Beach Resort also. So the format will be that Aisha will take us through a 10-minute presentation on each property, and then at the end of each segment there'll be about a 5-minute Q&A. So any questions, you can start typing them in the chat during the presentation if you wish, and then at the end we'll answer those questions for you. We've also got some prizes up for grabs, you'll be pleased to hear. So today we're giving away a £50 Love to Shop voucher. And again, at the end of the whole presentation, we're going to ask a question relating back to what you've seen, and it's fastest finger first. So the first person to type into the chat will win that £50 voucher. And we're also giving away 2 hotel stays as well. So I've just wrote this down. It's a 2-night stay at the Marriott Marquis, and also a 2-night stay at the MERIDIEN. They're both based on bed and breakfast basis. But the winner of this won't be announced today. It's a bit of a longer promotion, which runs through until the end of July. So there's 3 ways to enter. It's basically the more entries, the better chance you have of winning. First entry, you've already got it by being here today, by participating in the webinar. The second entry, this webinar is being recorded, and it's going to be posted on the TTG website. We will email you a link, and on that link, there's a couple of questions, again, relating to the webinar. Answer those questions, and that's another entry into the prize draw. And then the third entry, of course, is bookings. The more bookings you make, the more chances you have of winning. And any of these 3 properties, that is. So 1 booking gives you 2 entries. So yeah, making bookings is definitely the way forward. The winners will be announced at the beginning of August as well. That will come from myself or Josh. We'll give you a call and let you know. Brilliant. So I think that's my part finished. I'm going to hand you over to Aisha, who's going to start the presentation. So thank you, guys. Thank you, Aisha.
Thank you, Jodie. Thank you, everyone, for joining this webinar and for taking time. So I'm going to run through 3 properties, and I'm going to start with the JW Marriott Marquis, which most of you have either been to already, have seen it, have been selling it. And those of you who have not been to the property specifically, but have been to Dubai, I'm sure you have seen the 2 towers standing. That's the world's tallest 5-star hotel called the JW Marriott Marquis, the one that you see right over here. The location of the hotel is very central. You can see in this picture, it's very close to Burj Khalifa, very close to Dubai Mall and Mall of the Emirates as well. People normally come here to stay, and they can also explore Old Dubai or the New Dubai because it's right in the center. In terms of rooms, we have 1,608 rooms. It's a huge inventory, but the good news is that the property, every floor has a maximum of 14 rooms, which means we have 72 floors in each of the towers. But once the guest is on a particular floor, it's very easy for them to navigate through and not get lost on the floors because of the capacity of every floor, which is only 14 rooms. So the type of rooms that we have is only 2 categories. We have either the deluxe room, which is the one that you see here, about 44 square meters, where the bathroom area or the bathroom space is almost as spacious as the room. And we have a separate bathtub and a walk-in shower in every category. So a deluxe room can either have a king bed or have a twin bed, like in this picture. The next category of the room that we have is the corner suite. And as the name suggests, it's a suite placed on the corner of the building. So every floor will have 2 wings with 7 rooms each. And then the corner room is called the corner suite, which is twice the size of a deluxe room. It's 88 square meters, where you have, of course, a spacious bed area, the bathroom area, and a living area as well. All of the rooms, the way they are placed is that, like on every floor, they are on the outside. So whichever floor you get, whichever room type you take, you will always have a view either of the city, of Burj Khalifa, canal, or the ocean. We also have executive lounge, which is situated on the 37th floor. And like you would be wondering, why does it say executive room benefits? It's only because any guest who decides to choose to have access to the lounge, we add the lounge access to the room category and we call it the executive room. But the room remains the same. It's either the deluxe room or the corner suite with the executive lounge benefits. And in the lounge itself, you also have express check-in and check-out. So, it's actually very wonderful for the guests to come in, let's say in the evening, and go to the 37th floor for check-in and have a beautiful view of the surroundings. Because of the height of the hotel, it's a very clear, unobstructed view. You also get breakfast over here in case, when the hotel is running full and you don't want to go to the breakfast place, you can actually have your breakfast over here. You get afternoon tea, and of course, you get the evening happy hour or cocktails and some canopies. To come to the F&B offerings of the hotel, of course, it's one of the hub for F&B in Dubai. We have 14 restaurants and bars, and catering to every possible cuisine that you can think of. Most of the restaurants that we have are under the 7th floor. That's so that, both the towers can access it. As you see it in the picture, once you leave the 7th floor, you cannot really go to the other tower. So I will run through the restaurants just after this slide, but to just make sure that you understand, my favorite part in the hotel is right over here at the top, at the crown of the hotel. It's of course a bar. It's called the Vault, and it's 2 floors. And the reason that I also love it is because there is no minimum spend. So you are at that height at 71st and 72nd floor. You get a beautiful view and you're going with your friends. You don't want to drink, and it's okay because there is no minimum spend per person or per table. Looking at the restaurant, this is a steakhouse. It's called the Prime 68 because it's on the 68th floor. Then we have Rang Mahal, which is our fine dining Indian restaurant. We have Tong Thai and Izakaya, which is our Japanese restaurant. So another unique property about these 2 restaurants is that all the chefs, all the servers at the restaurant will all be of that nationality. So for example, you go to Tong Thai, you will have everybody from Thailand. You go to Izakaya, you'll have everybody Japanese, which is again to just add to the the feel of the restaurant. Then you have Kitchen 6. Kitchen 6 is one of the most famous restaurants in the hotel because it's our all-day dining where you have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And it's called Kitchen 6 because you have 6 live stations with 6 different cuisines. So again, it's again catering to very international crowd. We have Positano, which is our Italian restaurant, and that's the place I was mentioning before, my favorite place called the Vault. And then we have La Farine. It's an European restaurant. And we have a lot more restaurants, which I didn't mention because, to go in detail, it's going to take me almost an hour to just talk about the F&B outlets. But along with that, we also have a spa with 17 treatment rooms. And of course, a hotel with this inventory and this amount of F&B offerings, we do have to have a spa which can cater to large volume as well. We have both male and female section, and most of our treatments over here are actually focused on Dead Sea treatments. So for any of you, if you've heard about the Dead Sea in Jordan, we get all of the salt from the Dead Sea. It's famous for its properties, for flotation properties. So we always have the scrub or the massages using these Dead Sea salt that we get from Jordan. We also have public or group or private hammam. We have Turkish bath. We have a snow shower. So basically, it's like the ice coming out of the shower. And then we have a steam room, jacuzzi, and sauna. And that's the pool that we have overlooking Burj Khalifa. This is the area where you mostly will see a lot of gala dinners happening, especially the New Year Eve gala dinner. This is where it takes place, right by the pool. We have a huge event space. And talking about the event spaces, in the hotel itself, we have 32 event spaces. So, of course, the main segment of the hotel is also groups or MICE. So we do cater to a lot of weddings, a lot of, pharma companies having their meetings over here. So a lot of group bookings. And then, of course, we have the gym. As you can see, a lot of machines. And the view over here, by the window is off the canal. So again, a beautiful view. And the gym is open 24 hours for the in-house guests. That is about the property. And so if you have any questions, I can answer them for you now.
Yeah, any questions, just feel free to type in the chat. I have to say that I was at this property a few weeks back when we were over in Dubai for the Arabian travel market, and the hotel we went for dinner in the Indian. What was the Indian called again, Aisha, the restaurant?
The Rang Mahal.
Yeah, insane. It was absolutely beautiful, incredible. The food was just outstanding, and the whole hotel, we were blown away by it. So definitely want to add to your radar for your clients. Sorry, there's a few questions there that have come through. Leah's asked which restaurant offers a Saturday brunch.
So we have a couple of brunches around the hotel. The most famous brunch is called the Wanderlust. It happens in a restaurant called Garden, which normally used to be a Peruvian restaurant, but we don't serve any other meals there. It's only open for brunch. We also do brunch in Prime 68 and we do brunch in Kitchen 6 as well, depending on the dates. But most of the brunches are on Saturday. But we do also have like an evening brunch that happens in Prime 68. The restaurant offers changes like, almost on a monthly basis. So whenever you have a requirement, let me know and I will send you through the details about the brunch for that month.
Perfect. And Barbara's asked, is it mainly corporate bookings or leisure clients too?
So it's actually a very good mix. Back in the days, like 6-7 years ago, it was a very corporate hotel. But since a couple of years, or even I can say last year, we had 32% was leisure segment. So because of the location of the property, we have a lot of stopover clients going to a beach destination. But it's a prime location, so they get to go shopping and experience the hotel and, experience the F&B offerings. So yeah, I would say a leisure hotel as well.
Thank you. And Andy, the corner suite also has access to the club exec or a separate lounge?
So the corner suite does not have access to the lounge. If they want access to the club lounge, then they would have to add a supplement, and then we will start calling it the executive suite.
And how is it for children? Are there many facilities?
So we do not have a kids club. However, if the guests need a nanny, we can have it on request. We would have to, but there's at an additional charge because we don't really have a lot of kids staying at the property.
Okay.
The only thing that we have is a shuttle service between the malls, but that again changes as per the condition of the demand. So normally we have the shuttle service to Dubai Mall and Mall of the Emirates, where you have a lot of things for kids to do.
Okay. And I think Chrissy's had one there. Does the train go from the airport to the hotel?
So yes, the metro station is right here. It's actually like 10 minutes walk. So in Dubai, normally we don't really walk. So, I would just say 5 minutes by taxi. But in case you all are okay to walk, it's literally 10 minutes. And the metro comes, that's the main metro station. It comes directly from the airport as well.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you very much. I think that's all the questions covered for that property. So we'd like to move on to the next one, please, Aisha.
Yes, of course. Okay, so I believe you can see my screen now. So yeah. The next property thank you, Jody. The next property that we're going to see now is the property located in Fujairah. For any of you guys who don't know Fujairah, it's another emirate in United Arab Emirates situated on the north. It's one of the emirates that has the natural beach, and the temperature is cooler than the other emirates because, of course, of the ocean. And it also has the mountains. So this property as well, the way it is situated is like if you are standing right where the picture is, behind you are the mountains and in front of you is the ocean. What I'm going to do is just to give you a little more idea, I'm going to play a quick video and, just for you to understand how the property is, and then we will go into the presentation. I hope you all enjoyed the video. I'm just going to go through what you saw and give you a little more details on the property. So that's the early meridian situated in Fujairah on a stretch called the AQAH stretch. And as you see, it's covered with mountains at the back, and in front of you you have the beautiful Indian Ocean. We have 218 rooms at the property, and the unique selling point of this property is that all of the rooms, any category, it's all sea facing. So whichever room you book, you will always have a guaranteed sea and pool facing. Along with that, we have a private beach stretch right over here, which measures up to 230 meters. So it's a huge private beach stretch. The pool that we have is the largest pool in the Northern Emirates. And we have about 7 F&B offerings at the property, again, with a lot of cuisines, of course. And unlike the previous property, this property is very focused on kids, on families. And that is the highest segment over here, of course, is the family travelers together. You have a lot of kids activities, a lot of teenager activities, which I will come to in a bit. And let's start by looking at the rooms first. So we have the deluxe room. That's the first category, which is about 48 square meters, again, very spacious. And the second category is deluxe room with balcony. So the room is essentially the same, but the only difference is, of course, the deluxe room with balcony is with a balcony. So we have 42 of the rooms without the balcony, but still with floor to ceiling windows. And we have 130 of the deluxe room with balcony, giving, of course, the balcony. Then we have the club rooms, which, as the name suggests, are having the executive lounge or the club lounge access. We have 35 of these. The structure of the room is very similar to deluxe room with balcony, but the difference being all of the club rooms are situated 15th floor and above, because our lounge or the club is on the 15th floor. So, of course, the view is going to be more beautiful, and you have a beautiful balcony to enjoy your evening tea. Then we have the executive suite. So executive suite again gives you access to the lounge, and it's situated on the corner of the building, 15th floor and above. So being on the corner, you get like a 180-degree view of the place. From the bedroom, you would have a view of the ocean. And then as you go to the living area and beyond, you would have the view of the mountains. So it's one of the categories. This, of course, is a premium category of the hotel. All of these rooms, be it the suite or the club room, the deluxe room, we can accommodate 2 adults plus 2 children. We have a lot of connecting rooms at the property. So in case you ever have a request, please do let me know. It is subject to availability, but we do have a lot of them. And then the final category of the room is the presidential suite. It has like 3 bedrooms, and it's on the top of the hotel. And of course, very famous on families. We only have 1 of these suites, and it has its own private elevator, like in case they have like a party going on, and it's a private service elevator. Looking at the restaurants, and what I'm going to do is as well, I'm going to explain a little about the meal plans that we have at the hotel. Being a resort, we have all the meal plans that you can think of. So breakfast, half board and full board, which is any meals for breakfast, lunch or dinner, are taken in the restaurant called Views. That's the first one over here. It is a buffet all-day dining restaurant, and that's the picture that you see in front of you. Again, floor to ceiling windows, really high ceiling, and gives a view of the landscape. Like, you have the beautiful trees and the swimming pool, which that you can see from the restaurant. Another special thing about Views is we have a kids corner, and it's my absolute favorite. So, normally you would go to a buffet and you would have like the height of the table, like of the platform right here. In the kids corner, you have like really small platforms from where the kids can pick up their food, which is, I think, very cute and a very unique thing at the resort. Along with that, we have the other meal plan, which is called the all-inclusive. That is above full board. So along with the restaurant, you would also have Taste, which is the Thai and Indian restaurant included in all-inclusive. You will also have Sapore, which is our Italian restaurant. So the guests, in case they choose the all-inclusive meal plan, they can go to Views for buffet or to Taste and Sapore for a la carte menu. For set menu. And then the next meal plan that we have is the dine around meal plan. Dine around, as the name suggests, you can dine around the property. So along with the previous all-inclusive inclusions of of views, taste, and sapore. Gonu is also included, and the guest has the option to choose from an a la carte menu instead of the set menu. That allows the guests to have more freedom around the property when they are staying. And on top of that, on Dine Around, they also get premium alcohol, which was not the case in the other meal plans. My absolute favorite restaurant at the property is Gonu. It's the one that if you saw the video, the last bit of the video where you have these prawns and everything, and then you had the water coming by. That is Gonu. It's right by the beach, and that's one of the restaurants the in Alaka stretch that is right by the beach, and we do a lot of romantic setups and dining under the stars. A lot of it's a very romantic ambience in the evening. We also have the Baywatch Pool and Bar, which of course, the guests are thirsty or they want to get a drink during the day. They can just go to swim up to the pool bar or just step up to the beach bar, which is situated between the beach and the pool. Then we have a new restaurant called Laili by Swan. It's more of a casual dining restaurant, not included in any of the meal plans. Of course, we have the spa because I think no resort stay is complete without a spa. So we have two spas. We both of them are, one of them is more focused on Ayurvedic and the second one is more focused on holistic treatments. We also have a beauty salon. We do a lot of facials, and we also have a gym that is open 24 hours and complimentary for the in-house guests. Talking about the facilities for kids and the kids club, we have an amazing kids club, and I think all of you got an idea in the video previously. So in the kids club, we have an indoor space and an outdoor space. Now, unlike the other kids club, this kids club has like a list of activities, a schedule set for the week, where you have different activities per day, and most of the activities are to engage the young minds. Like you have puzzle solving, treasure hunt, quizzes, quiz evenings. So all of these things that can keep the kids engrossed. We also do fun stuff like we do face painting, and of course the outdoor splash pool allows the kids to have a good time with the rides and under the rain shower that we have in the kids pool. We also have small mini basketball, balloon blasting, and a lot of such activities. Along with that, we have life-size chess, snakes and ladder around the resort where the kids can go and play, of course, complimentary. We do a lot of activities also for the teenagers, like we have the zip line. Currently, the zip line is not operational since after COVID, so we are still waiting for it to open again, but we still have it at the property. We have 3 tennis courts, we have squash room, table tennis room, we have a theater which can be rented for free. Then we have the rock climbing, which is right behind the zip line. We also have a lot of water sports, and we have a diving center right at the property that, in case you're going there for diving and you're not an experienced diver, they teach you the diving courses in our swimming pool before taking you into the water. We also have paragliding, we have jet ski. So all in all, a lot of activities for the teenagers as well. So this property is like the perfect fit for any age. That's about the property. Just to give you an idea. Oh, and this is the restaurant that I had mentioned, my favorite one, right by the water, just to give you a picture of that. That's the property. If you have any questions, I can take questions now.
I love that hotel. My daughter would absolutely love it. Yeah, it's going to be on my list of places to visit, I think, for her.
Yeah.
Andy's just asked what ages for the kids club.
So the ages are between 4 to 12, and under the age of 4, we would need like an adult supervision over there in the kids club.
Okay.
Also, I think I'm not too sure if I mentioned before, but the resort is 90 minutes drive from Dubai. So it's like 1.5 hours, and the drive itself is very beautiful. It's right between the mountains. So it's not like the normal highways that you have between the buildings.
Any more questions? If not, we can just move on to the next hotel.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to the next hotel.
This is your favorite, isn't it?
It is my absolute favorite.
Oh, sorry,
And I'm sure after the presentation, I would like to get everybody's opinion as well on which property that they like the most.
Chrissy's just asked on the Meridian in Fuji. How do you pronounce the resort?
Fujairah?
Fujairah. Is this the new Dubai? She's asked.
Is it the, sorry, what?
Is it the new Dubai?
No. So I would say like it's actually a very peaceful Dubai. So normally, in Dubai you would have like, if you ever come to Dubai, you'll be like it's full of nightlife and tall buildings and highways and like a road with 7 or 8 lanes. No, Fujairah is not like that. It's very simple. It's very close to the nature. You don't have tall buildings. You don't have highways. You have small roads. You have the ocean most of the time that you're driving next to. If you don't have the ocean, you would be driving next to the mountains. So it's very scenic, actually.
Very different then. Sounds lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so we will move forward to the last property for today. It is a very unique destination situated right in the desert conservation reserve. So, of course, as the name suggests, desert conservation reserve. So everything in the resort is being preserved by the government. It's called the MAHA Luxury Collection Desert Resort and Spa. And again, just for you all to understand, I also have a video for this hotel, which we're going to see now. That was the video on the property. Just to give you an idea, we have a total of 42 suites only at the property. Each of them with their, it's like a tent-like structure and has a lot of trees around it. So, to give more privacy. So that is the first category of the room, which is called the Bedouin suite. And like you saw in the video, all of the furniture in the room, the atmosphere of the room itself is very heritage and Bedouin-like. You have like these floor to ceiling doors that you go onto the deck. And of course, if you see in the room, you don't see a TV. It's because, they're trying to stick to the old life to give you the experience of Bedouin life. But of course, it's not like we don't have a TV. The TV is inside over here. You just pull it out. So that's a picture for you to understand, like it's a bird eye view of the Bedouin suite, where each of the suites in the hotel have private pool. So that makes 42 suites with their own private pool. And another amazing thing about the property is that this deck that runs around the room, it's not made of real wood. We recently had some changes in the hotel like a couple of years back where we changed it to synthetic wood so it does not let the floor get too hot in summer especially. And we have a door right over here that allows the guests to take a dip in the pool and not dirty the room while entering it, but directly enter the bathroom, which is, I think, a very different idea. Then we have 37 of one-bedroom suites, and we have 2 of these royal suites where you have 2 bedrooms. One is twin and one is king. It is good for families traveling together, but it's an adult-only property, so we don't allow kids under the age of 10. Just to, we don't allow them at the property as well. And the reason for that being, we have a lot of animals at the property. Like we have around 400 gazelles. We have about 500 Arabian oryx, and they are freely walking around the space. In fact, something interesting, just last week I was at the property and I was having my breakfast over there by the pool on the table right here in my room. And I had a gazelle walk up to me who wanted to like get a bite of my food. So, it's you are very close to the nature in Al Maha as well. Then we have two more categories of Emirates suites. So they look like that, where you have again the 2-bedroom, similar to Royal Suite, but you also have a courtyard area and a staff quarter. So we have a lot of guests who like to travel with their, bodyguard, with their nanny, for example, or a cook who can cook the food for them in the room. So it's very special for that. And the pool as well is very unique because it's a horizontal length pool. And then we have the presidential suite where we only have one of this category, and of course it's 3 rooms, huge space. In all of the room categories, even that we saw previously, like the Royal Suite or the Emirates Suite, both the rooms have separate entrances, which means it could be 2 couples traveling together and they can still have their own space while wanting to be together in the living space. So, it's just a property that's the way it's designed. Similarly, for this suite as well, you have separate entrances for all the 3 rooms. So it can be three families traveling together. All the guests who are booked with us in Al Maha are always on full board basis, which means breakfast, lunch, and dinner will be included in the rate. And the room cost or the in-room dining cost is free. So there is no charge for that. So you could be ordering your breakfast and then your lunch and your dinner all in the room, and it's like you can do that with no extra cost. In case you want to go out and eat it in the restaurant, we only have one restaurant over here, which is called Al Divan. That's the restaurant you see in the picture, where you have a beautiful terrace overlooking the desert and the open space. Also, you can see a little bit of the mountains over here. Also, along with that, we also do a lot of experiences, like we do dining. It's one of the experiences very famous for proposals, anniversary, birthday celebrations. A very romantic setup right under the stars, and the picture is still bright. Normally at night, the only light you have is of these torches around you, the little lamps and the stars. It's a beautiful setup. The guests are left over here for about 90 minutes. And once they're done with their dinner, they can give us a call back in the reception. Somebody will pick them up. Along with that, we also do another experience, which is called the floating breakfast or floating lunch, which we do in our private pools in the room. Another amazing experience. And we also do deck dining, which is the deck around the room. We do a setup over there with the 3-course menu and the waiter. Talking about the desert activities, so along with the room rate and the full board, 2 desert activities per person per night are included, and these activities include archery, falconry. Falconry normally is in the morning, where they teach you about the history of falcon, how they hunt, and everything about them. Then you have the the wildlife drive, where a 4x4 vehicle takes you around the resort to the feeding stations of the animal, to very close to the animal and explaining their history and their origin. Then we have the nature walk, which is of course like normally during summer. It's not it also is very early in the morning to avoid the heat. And then we have the camel trekking, where you sit on the camels and you go into the desert. And then you have the sundowner, which is again another favorite activity of mine. So they're taking you to a spot in the desert where you can see the sun go down and enjoy a glass of wine or juice if you wish, and just enjoy that experience when the sun goes down. It's a beautiful place for pictures because you're taken far away from the villas. We also have horse riding and dune drive, but horse riding is only for experienced riders, and dune drive is again another experience where it's very similar to desert safari, but not so much of dune bashing. We also have a beautiful spa at the property, and you have another pool with a spa, so making it 43 pools in the resort of 42 rooms. We do a lot of Ayurvedic treatments at the property. We have 4 treatment rooms, and you also have a beautiful jacuzzi. Right over here by this window is where we have the gym. I'm not sure who would go to that resort and still go to the gym, because I really would not. But, like just in case some people want to go to the gym. And yeah, that's about the property. It's about 45 minutes drive from the Dubai center of Dubai or Dubai airport. So to get to the property, it's only 20-25 minutes. But once you get to the main gate, to go to the reception is another 20 minutes because of the drive, because of animals crossing and camels crossing. So you have to drive really slowly. And it's just for you to get an experience that you're entering into the desert. Yeah, that's the property. As I mentioned, that the guests only above the age of 10 are allowed. This is like a sample of the deck dining, which is one of the experiences that we have. It's just the breakfast. I think they're just setting up the breakfast over there. That's about the beautiful Al Maha. If any of you have any questions.
Thank you so much. Barbara has actually said she's been here. This property, she was here in May already, yeah, and absolutely loved it. Amazing experience.
That's amazing. Thank you, Barbara. That's so nice to hear.
And Errol, do you have any special rates for travel agents on holidays? That would be us at Youtravel. So it would be myself that you'd come through to, and we'd speak to the hotel. So it's absolutely worth an ask. We've actually got some really good special rates to complement this webinar as well, which we will email you out after the presentation. So there are already some really good offers on this property, but all three. Andy, can you use the main pool at the spa without using the spa itself?
Yes, of course. So normally the main pool is what is used by most of the guests because the check-in and check-out time at Al Maha are very strict because of 42 rooms. So most of the guests, they are using the pool after their check-out time, before check-in, or even during their stay.
And Carol, what is the meal basis at each of the hotels?
Meal basis as in like the meal plans that we offer?
Yes.
So in JW, we do breakfast, half board, full board, but my personal suggestion to not go for half board or full board because it's all going to be only in kitchen 6. And when you have so many restaurants, it would be nicer for you to experience. But for us, we offer breakfast, full board and half board. For Meridian and AQAH, you have a lot of meal plans. You have breakfast, half board, full board, all inclusive and dine around. And then for Al Maha, you only have full board.
Great, thank you. Would you recommend driving to Al Maha or getting a transfer?
Honestly, like the drive is very simple, so I would say like just drive there, it's all the more nicer when you're driving in the desert, so you can't go over the speed of 30. It's a very nice, it's very interesting, but like it also depends on you. If you are really in a mood of that experience, or you want to just sit back and just get to the property, then you should get a transfer. But my recommendation, drive to Al Maha.
Perfect. And Andy, if you want to go shopping, is there anything nearby?
Nearby to Al Maha, no.
Yeah, no.
Yes. No, the jokes aside, I think, the first time I stayed over there, I didn't step out of my room, let alone the hotel. I did not leave my room. I was just in the room. So if it's your guest's first time, I can assure you they don't want to go anywhere. They just want to be in the room.
Yeah, it's just an experience in itself, isn't it? You do not want to leave it. Yeah. A huge thank you to Aisha for taking the time to go through those hotels. They're all absolutely fantastic. Yeah, thanks so much. And to all of you guys for joining as well. We do really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, everybody, for your time. Like I know it's so busy for you all, but thank you so much for joining the webinar. And of course, Jerry is there to help you with whatever you need from my side.
Yeah, just send any emails through to myself, and I'll liaise with Aisha if there's any more questions. But yeah, thanks so much, everyone. Have a lovely day. Thanks, Aisha. Take care. Bye now.